when there is a faulted delegate list by other candidates, a primary that was shifted from Saturday to Monday, and some candidates who are saying that they did not have the delegates list how many days before the primary?
Neither did I.
When did you get the primary?
Neither did I.
When did you get the delegates
list? We were
list?
all together when Governor Dave Umahi presented the delegate list to the state chairman. We were all there together during the stakeholders meeting. So I enjoy no privilege whatsoever. I saw the list when they saw it. It was pasted at the party secretariat, and we all got it at the same time.
All right, let's leave the animosity and some of the bickering. I mean, sometimes I could be hard this way just to get the truth out of my guest on the program. Are you reaching out to some of your aggrieved?
Oh yes. It would be a failure of my professional career if I did not try to do some mediation and reconciliation to reach out. We are one big family. PDP is a big party. It has structure. It has experience, it has character. There are people who have been there for a long time. And basically, when things like this happen and people feel disenfranchised, the natural thing to do is to reach out. And that's what I've done, and that's what I spent the last 3 weeks doing. And I've even asked people who are major stakeholders to get engaged in the same process. You know, I don't like dropping names, but...
Are you afraid that this case is going to court? And it might backfire on your candidature?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if it's going to court or not.
I mean, Mr. Ifan Yuba says he's going to court to challenge it.
Well, that's his prerogative. It's a free country. It's a democracy. If he wants to go to court, that's... You know, I just said hello to him as he was walking out. I have nothing. I've maintained the best of cordiality with all the candidates. I speak to them. I'm in good terms with them. I call them. They answer the phone. I've visited some of them at their homes. I think if that's the required heavy lifting, I've done that. And I've asked them to come back to the party. We need to win the election in Anambra State. And that is what is critical at this point.
Mr. Obaze, why do you want to be governor of Anambra State?
Well, you know, governance is about service and service delivery to your people. I come from Anambra State. That is not a matter of choice. It's a matter of where I found myself. And I'm proud to be from Anambra State because we have a long history of accomplished people. But I do, having served there as Secretary of State for a while, Secretary of State Government, know that we have quite a broad array of unmet needs for our people. Challenges, the basic dividends of democracy not being fully delivered. And the only way to offer succor to our people is to submit ourselves to service, to serve them, not because we're looking for a job, but because we can deliver on some of those things. I've been blessed. I've traveled around the world. I'm exposed. I have experience. I understand what the best practices are globally. I understand what the missed opportunities are for my people, and we can draw from lessons learned both internationally and locally. I used to live in Lagos in the 80s, in Aguda. And when I look at Lagos and the way it's been transformed, I know it's possible in any part of this federation.
What would you consider as the major or the most need of the Anambra people?
Development is a mosaic. It's a holistic. It's not a one-off event. It's a process. You have to have the basic needs, the basic amenities. We take for granted potable water. Potable water is important. We used to have it in the 50s and the 60s, not boreholes. And we don't have them. And we need to have that in place. Power generation. Even though we're hooked up to the national grid, we have alternatives. We have alternative energy. We have solar power. We have independent power production that we could buy into. If we do that, we can get our industries, both the big industries, the medium and small scale industries, the micro industries, to run 24/7. What that boils down to is employment for our people. We have a large youth bulge of unemployed people. We have the unemployed who are uneducated. We have the unemployed who are educated but unemployed. And these are sources of misery to the parents. These are sources of conflict in the society. all kinds of rascality and cultism. We need to put them back to work. And that, my focus, running for governor, is the development of the human capital in Anambra State. And we have the personnel, we have the resources. It's just being able to mesh it to work to the benefit of our people. That's what
would be your policy, major policy focus? I mean, if you're considering the top job in that state. Within the first 100 days, for example, what would you say are those major primary goals that you would kind of point at if Anambra people elect you?
So when I accepted to come back here, I did that because Anambra State had chosen the MDG as its framework for development under its ANITS program. ANITS meant the Anambra Integrated Development Strategy. Now the MDG has expired. We're going to the SDG. What did the MDG do for us? It meant no community left behind. If you gave a school to a community, we have 177 communities, each community got a school. If you gave a borehole, each community got a borehole. If you built a school or a health center, each community got a school or health center. We were ranked #1 in this country as a state on MDGs, where we pulled our state from being number 26 to being the first in the nation in NECO and WAEC. We have regressed to number 7 and number 6 on both. That's backward trend.
Okay.
We need to move forward.
All right. Do you think you can win this election?
Of course I can. Confidently.
Do you think you will win this election?
I intend to win it.
How?
By campaigning. I've just done a tour, a 3-day tour, whistle stop of the 21 local governments.
Who is funding you?
I have resources, I have people who are funding, I have friends who are willing to fund me because they believe in what I'm doing.
All right, we'll still get you to talk some more, Mr. Oseloka Obaze. This is perhaps the start as we get other candidates to tell us their programs. Many thanks for coming on the program. It's always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
I look forward to coming back here.
I wish you the very best in the race. Well, in times like this, every little thing counts. Action, inaction, silence, written, spoken words, tweets, Facebook posts, all count. But in all of this, we have a choice. We can choose right and also with caution. That's our show for today, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Sean Kimbale.